You do that to me, what you mean? That deems you unapproachable. If something happens, you think they're going to come to you? If they got a problem, that deems you automatically unapproachable. So when something happens, the thing you're supposed to think is solution. How can I make the situation better? Because it's already done. There's no use in you getting upset and fretting over it's already done, but make the situation better. Okay? You may have to discipline the person at a later time, but don't react like that. Does that make sense? Your reactions are very important as the leaders of this company. Leader of Steiner Sports, your reactions have got to be cool, because the first thing you should think as a manager, how can I make the situation better? Not dwell on the person, make them feel worse than they did. The great thing is that they came to you and told you, because they feel comfortable with you. And that's very important. Any questions on this part? Managing yourself. I grew up in Texas most of my life, and I learned at an early age about how your thought process controls the way you act. And to give you a quick example, even though I played professional football, baseball was always my favorite sport, still is. When I was a little kid, we went to the Little League World Series. You know, we won for the state of Texas, and we got to go to Pennsylvania to play the Little League World Series. And I was really excited. My mom and dad are teachers, and my mom had rules in her house just like everybody's mom did. She said if I did well in school, I could do anything I want. I was going to fly in the airplane from Texas to Philadelphia to Pennsylvania for the first time in my life, flying the airplane. Make a long story short, that week I brought home terrible grades because I wasn't thinking about nothing but flying to the game and playing the Little League World Series. My mom had a fit when I brought home the bad grades that week. So she said that she's going to have to let me think about going to Pennsylvania. So I said, I don't care what my mom says, I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm only in the 4th grade now. Make a long story short, my mom didn't let me go to the Little League World Series, and I copped an attitude against my mom because I couldn't believe how she could do that. She would leave my lunch money on the table because I went to summer school. I would turn my back to let her know I was upset because I wanted her to know. To make a long story short, my dad, who's a big guy, came in, and I was always scared of my dad because he was bigger than me, and I always did what he said. And he told me that I could not continue to be negative to my mom. He said the way you think controls the way you act. In a sense, your attitude controls your effort. You show me somebody at Steiner Sports or any company that has a negative attitude, and I will show you you cannot give 100% because your attitude is bad. Let me fast forward the story. I got drafted to play for the New York Giants. Very first year, had a receiver named Dwight Scales. This guy could catch everything that Phil Simms threw. Every single thing he threw, he could catch. Before the first game, the coach gets rid of Dwight. So I go up to the coach because I wanted to win. I said, well, why would you get rid of somebody on our team that's going to help us win? He said, Billy, I don't want anybody on my team with negativity because negativity rubs off on negativity. I reflected back when I was a kid in the 4th grade, and I totally understood where he was coming from. When I finished playing ball, I became a broadcaster. I used to hire high school students to go with me on trips. I'd make the videos for different Caribbean islands, Barbados, etc. And when I hire the high school students, when they come to interview me, the only thing I think about is not anything else, but do they have a positive attitude? That's the only thought process. A lot of people don't know I do that, so probably 75% of them came in with a negative attitude, so they weren't hired, even though we're talented. And I think that the way that you as a manager deal with yourself, your attitude is very important because you are the leaders of the company. You come in here on Monday morning with a negative attitude, that sets the tone for everybody. So even if you and your mate had a fight at the breakfast table in the morning, you leave that stuff at the door when you walk in Steiner Sports. You leave that. Some people cannot do it, but you have to. If you're the leader of the company, all you managers, you have to leave that stuff at the door. So when you come in here, even if you got to front it, you have to put a face on for your people. Does that make sense to everybody? Because I believe that the way you think shows sometimes. Some people cannot hide it, but the way you think controls the way you act. Your attitude controls your effort. And I had to throw that in there because as a manager and supervisor, sometimes you may not realize that things you do is going to affect other people. This is a team thing. It's not individually based. It is a team thing. Okay? I just had to throw this in there. And the reason I did is because of this. In your groups, and we got this from the New York Times, I want you to give me the top